I've achieved 10 out of 10 quality scores across hundreds of keywords in many different industries. And so in this video, I'm going to show you how to actually improve your quality scores so that you can reach those sweet discounts, the 10 out of 10s that everyone wants, so that they can get 50% off each click. In order to understand how to get these 10 out of 10s, you need to understand how quality score is actually measured by Google, right? And so it's measured by three things. You got your expected click-through rate, you've got your ad relevance, and landing page experience. So let's go through these with actual actionable steps for each one. So number one is expected CTR, which will people click on this ad, right? So Google measures this and predicts how likely your ads to get clicked on. And they do it through a lot of different metrics. These are just a few. So they'll try to understand your past performance. If you've run this ad before for the same keyword, they'll check whether or not other advertisers have run for that keyword before and their average CTR. And if yours is really, really low, then it might think that you're the outlier and you're the one that, you know, is obviously not normal. So it's not going to give you a better CTR. It does make sure there's fairness involved because it will lower the baseline of the expected CTR even if your ad is shown like on the second page, right? It will basically use some formulas to change your baseline and make sure that you're as equal as the person in position 1, even if you're in position 4, etc. Then we've got search intent, where Google basically compares your ad's relevance to the keyword's intent. So if someone's typing in buy red sneakers, it expects this to have a higher CTR than someone than just like best sneakers. I don't think that's the best example. In this way, it's just trying to understand whether or not on your ad copy, it's super relevant to whatever someone types into Google. The more verbatim it is, the better. So if someone does type in buy red sneakers and your ad says buy red sneakers, then that's 100% relevance. Okay, so because it's verbatim. Now you could still say buy red joggers and Google understands what you mean. It's the same thing, but it's technically not verbatim. So it may not get the 10 out of 10 quality score that you're after. So basically, to improve the expected click-through rate, Google is looking for a few different things. They're even looking for how you use numbers and how you use power words and how you use intent-based content in your ads itself. So if you're saying the word buy, it knows that the intent is to obviously take that next step. And their AI will actually tell them this. That's how the formula actually works. You know, as opposed to someone saying, what are red sneakers made out of? It knows that that has really bad buying intent. Yeah, it will use different formulas on how click-through rate is actually measured based on psychology and a bit based on historical performance in numbers, because that's what Google does best. And so basically what you need to do to improve this is do whatever it takes to improve your CTR. So write better copy, more relevant copy. I've got a tutorial on YouTube and ChatGPT scripts on how to actually do this yourself. Go check that out. I've got a tutorial on dynamic keyword insertion as well. Go check that out. That is super handy. The same with location insertion. All these things will improve your CTR and your expected CTR. But basically, create more relevant, punchier site links. So what I mean by this is when you're going through your ads, make sure that the site links that you use are not shit. They're not like boring. They've actually got numbers in them. They've got great intent. You know, let's see how it says free appraisal in 15 minutes and buy excess, save 40% off and all this stuff. Try to use this space with numbers and urgency and all the psychology you already know about, right? Okay, and last one is using callouts, structured snippets, and other extensions, so that using all the space and real estate given to you by Google in order to make your ad clicked on, right? So you need to basically use up everything, every possible feature that Google gives you and throws at you. Try to use it so that you're improving click-through rate. This includes using like image extensions and better videos in your Performance Max campaigns and vertical videos and everything like that. So let's move on. I don't want this video to take up too much time. Number 2 is ad relevance. So does this match the actual search that someone types in? And you'll see this pop up time and time again because we mentioned it over here, remember? And so this is actually the recurring theme. It's making sure that your ad is relevant, your landing page is relevant, the search term is relevant. If all those connect together and they're synchronized, then you're going to get high quality scores, right? Here, basically, Google tries to check how closely your ad matches the meaning of the search query that has been used. So does the ad copy use the keyword on it or closely related keywords. And I actually use dynamic keyword insertion to help me out here, so that I can use a lot of psychology in the rest of the headlines and descriptions, using numbers, using power words, all that kind of stuff, so that I can improve the expected CTR. In this example, if someone searches for cheap laptops, an ad saying affordable laptop starting at $299 will get a better score than something generic saying like tech deals for all devices. That's totally not related to what we're talking about right now. But again, if someone searches cheap laptops, and you said cheap laptop starting at $299, that would be better. That would be 100% better, because it's more relevant and it's more verbatim. But Google is smart enough to understand affordable and cheap are semantically similar, and they've got NLP language models to understand the meaning behind those, and knowing that we're not talking about something else, right? Semantic matching, well, that's what I just said. NLP models and things like that, it understands the meaning behind these words. It knows that running shoes and jogging sneakers are the same thing, right? But again, if someone types in jogging sneakers and then in your ad comes up running shoes, you're better off having jogging sneakers in your actual ad verbatim, right? To get the quality scores up. 3 is most important one, which is making sure that you have tightly themed ad groups. So making sure that, for example, I've got a good one here. This is like a head spa, like a Japanese head spa. And what we've done here is we've separated hair spa keywords, like anything to do with hair spa. We have those keywords, like 10 of them in its own ad group. And then anything to do with head spa, we keep head spa related keywords in its own ad group. Anything to do with Japanese head spa, because the intent is for specifically Japanese, which will get a higher click-through rate, we've separated that in its own ad group and keywords as well. And then what we've done is we've been very smart on how we use negative keywords. So I know that you might think these cannibalize, but they're not going to, because basically in head spa, I said whenever the term Japanese has been used, do not bid on those auctions, so that this one here can win all those auctions, right? There's clever ways of doing that. But anyway, let's go through the action steps. So tighten ad groups. So make sure that you're creating one ad group for like red sneakers and then another ad group for blue sandals, making sure that you're being as tight as possible. So if you're a dentist and you've got dentures that you're trying to sell, denture treatment and veneers and things like that, or dental implants, make sure that all of those are in their own ad group, targeting their own keywords, going to their own respective landing pages. Number 2 is use keywords from the search query directly in your ad. I already spoke about that. Number 3, and I touched upon this, is using negative keywords to prevent your ad from showing on unrelated searches. This keeps it really tight and granular. So making sure that you're not bidding on a lot of broad match keywords, or you're making sure you've got a lot of relevant keywords. Like if you're just bidding on veneers, right, you might want to have anything to do with dentures added as your negative keyword list, and implants. So let's go through it. Number 3 is landing page experience. Final one, and this is how you improve your quality scores. Google basically determines the quality of your landing page based on the relevance of the ad. So does it match exactly what the ad promised? If the ad is talking about implants and then it goes to a veneers page, it's not exactly the same semantically or otherwise. It might be semantic, but you need to try to make it as verbatim as possible. In this case, if your ad has red sneakers with 50% off and you take people to a general shoe catalog, it's not 100% relevant, is it? So you need to take them to exactly a red sneaker page in that case. You need to make sure that your pages are mobile friendly, making sure every web page should be mobile friendly these days. It's been said for many years, over a decade. A lot of people have been saying this. So there's really no excuse not to have your website mobile friendly, bigger buttons, bigger text, all that kind of stuff. And then loads fast, of course, which we'll talk about. So you can use like GT metrics, you can use pingdom tools and things like that to find your page speed, and then fix up broken code, fix up big images, all that kind of stuff. I've got tutorials on how to do those, by the way, on how to compress your images. Go check those out. And then is your page trustworthy? Does it include honest information about who you are, where you're located, where your office is, all this kind of stuff? Typical things that Google would expect other advertisers of your category to show on their pages, right? It's basically trying to compare apples for apples. And this is how it actually relates to SEO, because SEO is the exact same thing of how you improve your SEO rankings is the exact same thing. Yeah, I've gone through most of these, I think, but basically you just want to improve your time on page. So making sure that you're improving the first thing that someone sees and try to prevent them from bouncing from your landing page. Because every time someone like leaves your landing page after a few seconds, that just tells Google that's not relevant enough and they didn't take the desired action. So therefore they're going to give you worse quality scores because, you know, people are just leaving it and they're either not the most relevant traffic, because people are only spending 3 seconds on your website, or the landing page itself sucks, or the offer's not good, or whatever. So you need to try to make sure that you're improving your time on page, so you're showing Google that the landing page experience is amazing. Now, they use a lot of different crawlers, not just one robot, to actually crawl your landing page. So they use a lot of different things. So you've got to be really smart about how you observe these. But the key summary here is, as long as your ad is relevant, as long as you have, you know, the exact keyword in the ad itself, it's on the landing page that you're sending people to, the keyword that you're bidding on or whatever, then the more tight and granular that is, the higher your quality scores, or the higher chances of quality scores you'll get to unlock those massive discounts up to 50% per click. That's all I want to show you today. There is another document, an article I was going to go through, which there are other factors like users device, their intentions, running on other networks doesn't matter, ads placement doesn't matter. I want to go through this, but I feel like we're going to go over time, just me explaining all this kind of stuff. So I will leave a link to this page of what does and does not matter with quality scores. Yeah, I hope that was helpful and informative. If you've got any questions, leave them below. I'm happy to answer them, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.